Everybody's your hospitality friend, Glenn, and I'm here at the Venetian Resort in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, and I got Jaimie, Miranda, SVP Hotel Administration here at the Venetian Palazzo Complex. Great to see you.
Hi, good morning. Welcome.
What a cool job you have. So for people that don't know, what exactly does Hotel Administration mean in your VIP status?
Oh, that depends on the day.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Let's see. I have the opportunity to lead our hotel operations team. So kind of all the traditional hotel teams that you see we welcome you on the front drive. We check you in at the desk. We answer your phone calls. Our butler team is taking care of our VIP guests. Our group guests are meeting with our meeting planners. We are all over the building, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, making it happen.
Except for one little thing. Except that instead of 200 rooms, you've got 7,000 rooms.
7,000 plus 7,094.
7,094. That's pretty amazing. That really makes things a lot more complicated. Not impossible, just there's a lot more layers of complexity to being able to create a system in order for everything here to work, right?
True, but we have an incredible team. Yeah. And they get it done every single day. So we focus really on the individual guest, and we tell our team one guest at a time. We want the team to focus on the guest standing in front of them and capturing that moment and taking care of that guest. And we have processes in place to make sure that when we've got a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, or even a 5,000 room turn, we're making that turn happen and, making sure our guests aren't waiting and getting them taken care of.
I can't even imagine what a 5,000 room turn would look like.
A lot of rooms.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right. So all the rooms here are suites, which is amazing. And what I really love about the suites is I think, and nothing personal to all my other friends in Las Vegas, I think these are the biggest traditional sized rooms in Las, and I mean generally run a house types of rooms in the city. I was here.
Every room's a suite. Everyone's proud of that.
I know, and it's great. And one of the cool things about everything being a suite is like I don't have to desperately beg everyone for an upgrade because I already feel like the room.
You don't. You're upgraded automatically.
I know, and the rooms are absolutely the right size because I know this is going to sound weird, but sometimes they give you these rooms that are so big they don't really feel like human scale anymore.
And then you lose your stuff in them, right?
I already lost a pair of glasses being here already.
It's okay, our housekeeping team will find it for you.
So I just got them last week. I got a severe case of glasses losing situation. These are a backup pair. So I don't know why. But anyway, 7,000 suites here running this property. And now you're going to be talking about upgrading the entire facility. You're working on the meetings. Check our interview on the meetings with that nearly $200 reinvention of the meeting facilities. But you are focused on the hotel and $1 billion being put into this. That's a huge number, but over 7,094 suites. It probably is probably a little bit less per room than one would think, but it's so much money to be able to get things done. So when you're putting together a checklist of what you want to get done, how does all of that get together? What do you choose to make your main points, and how does that all come together for you?
Well, we have a lot of experts in the building, right? So it's really thinking about what are our customers saying, what are our guests saying, listening to the different voices. And because we have so many customers from different aspects of the industry, so what are our casino customers saying? What are our meeting customers saying? What are our leisure travelers saying? What are our business travelers saying? And understanding what those different guests need. What do they love about the suites? What do they not love about the suites? And how do we address that? We look at our guest surveys, look at our guest letters, talk to our frontline team members. They talk to our guests all day long. So what can they share with us? And look at that as our starting point of what do we need to make sure we keep in our suites and maybe just refresh or get to the next level. And what do we need to add? So there's a couple things that are coming in our new rooms that when I bring up my desk agents or some of our frontline team, they go in and they're like, yes, we've added that into the room. Our guests are going to love it, and they're super excited.
And y'all have been always very far ahead of making sure that the guest suites have the things that people need. I'm going to go way back.
I know what you're going to say.
Do you? We'll find out. We're 25 years this place has been here, and I remember the first time I checked into the room, the fax machine. That was awesome because at the time, it was so important, and I actually used all of that. This is like before internet was really the modern day internet, and everyone was still doing the fax machine thing. So you all have a history of making sure that no matter what category you come into in the hotel, you're really setting the foundation for a guest success.
It's really important to us. It's really important to understand, again, with 7,000 suites, we know we have guests coming from all different aspects, right? And here for different reasons. It's really important to understand and listen to all of the different listening posts, understand what our customers want, what's important to them, and make sure we have the little pieces for everybody.
Yeah. So how does that frame what you're going to be doing as you embark on this massive renovation project?
It's a part of the decision, right? Where are we spending money in the suite? What are we adding to the suite? What are we removing from? We don't have fax machines anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not relevant, right?
Right.
But what are we adding into the suite?
Yeah.
What are we pulling from the suite? How do guests use our suites now? That makes sense, so that we determine how do we best utilize the 700 square feet that every suite is.
So what are some of the things that you're thinking about when reinventing the guest room experience? Is it a technology thing? Is it plusher linens, combination of everything?
Everything, right? Like we're looking at and thinking, how do guests use technology? How do they use the technology in the suite? Where do they like to work? You know, we had desks in the suite.
Yeah.
Are guests using the desks? Where are they doing business in the suite?
I will say yes, they are using the desk.
Okay. Are they? What are they doing in the suites? How are they using it? And what aspects of the suite are they using, so that how do we make them most comfortable for different parts of their stay, right? If you're coming for business, it doesn't mean you're working 24/7. At least we hope not, because you're in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I've only come to Vegas once in my entire life, not for business. So I'm all about being productive, so I can then go enjoy the city's amenities.
Right. So, and that's the goal, right? When you're here, we want you to have fun too, right? Even when you're here for work, we want to make sure that you get a little bit of time on the casino floor.
Yep.
You get some time in the restaurants, some time in the entertainment. So we're making sure that the suite has those different elements across.
And I found that the rooms were originally laid out back when they opened in 1999 very, very smartly, I thought. You have the work zone with the desk. Then you've got the table with a couple of chairs that you could, rotate to look out the window while, having a meal, having a meeting. I remember when I first started my my podcast for another company 10 plus years ago, I had people come up to one of the suites and we'd set it up on the table, and it was awesome that I had all of that space. And I'm sure younger people are going to want to work from bed as well, right? And then, of course, you've got the whole bathroom experience. So what kind of technology do you see is going to really pull everything together and make people love those rooms even more?
Right. So, like we said, we're pulling the fax machine. We don't think that's necessary. For us, it's really guests are using their own technology, right? So we're looking at the televisions. We're looking at making sure that the Wi-Fi is strong. We're investing in that. Investing in the cellular.
I found so far it is.
Fantastic. Glad to hear. Investing in the cellular, making sure that that's strong. Because we feel like guests are bringing their own technology.
I think you're right.
And it's enabling that, making sure that that is strong.
Right.
So that they can use their technology to be successful and have the connectivity.
That's true. And now what she's talking about is what we call BYOD, bring your own device. And a lot more customers out there are doing that today because we have these massive computers in our pocket. I bring, and I think you need the Wi-Fi too, because I think the number is still 2.5 devices per room per guest or something like that. So for me, I've got my laptop, I've got my iPad, and I've got my phone, and I need to have seamless connectivity on all three of those because I use them at different day parts for different reasons, right? So that's really essential for you folks, for example. So how are you thinking about how I'm going to be able to use my technology in concert with like the televisions, for example? Because I'm sure 95% of people use the TVs. I'm not a TV person because I'm much more into, I've got this on my iPad, I'll just lay in bed and watch it. But if I could connect to the screen, just throw it up there, I'd definitely use the TVs more.
So you're referring to casting, which we do not have today.
No, but I figure it's coming part of this this renovation.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not going to answer that.
All right, fair enough.
So we'll see.
Yep.
We did just finish an upgrade with our technology on our TVs. So we do now have apps available. So the guests can do
So I could sign in my streaming service, and then when I leave the room, all that information gets taken away.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. So how do you pull together the designs of the rooms? What is the feel and the motif do you think are going to be a little more specific than upscale Italian luxury?
Sure. So we still have the Italian there. That's very important to us, and finding
It'd really be awkward to have the outside Italian and the inside be something else.
Japanese. Yeah, right. So the Italian is still there, and leaning on red. Venetian red is important to us. We think it speaks to Venetian luxury. So you'll see the reds and golds kind of strewn throughout the suite. It's the luxury, and it's contemporary, and it's playing on Italian there, but we don't want to hit our heads over the head with the Italian.
Because then it'll be, I think, too much of a specific time and place. And if you're investing $1 billion, it's got to be something that's more modern yet feels timeless at the same time, in order for it to remain fresh for the years to come, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of designs that you walk in there and you're like, whoa, this room is great
Right now,
and then you go back a year later and you're like, what happened over here? Yeah. It's because
that's very 2024.
Right. Yeah. Right. Because it's way too much tethered to a particular moment in history. So a lot of amazing designers out there have really found a way to create the themes in a more subtle fashion. It goes right to what you were saying with like accents and hints, as opposed to boom, this is what we're thinking.
And there's touches, right? There's touches that maybe is something that, first of all, I think it's very timeless, and Italian is timeless, right? It's, Italian lace or masks or some of those things that touch upon Italian history, but there are also things that can be switched out if they need to, if they no longer feel right or relevant. Yeah. But the overall look and feel of the suite is very timeless. Yeah. And very comfortable, right? And that's a big important part of who we are, is we want all of our guests to feel comfortable in our building, right? It's luxury, but it's approachable, and that's important to us.
I love the name of approachable luxury, and I was telling everybody beforehand, since the property opened, I always thought that this property democratized luxury, made it available to everybody, and made everybody feel special, which I think plays into the whole energy that you see throughout this particular building. In my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know.
I like to think so.
Yeah. I'm curious to know, how did you find your way into the hospitality industry, and how do you get to be SVP Hotel Administration of a place that has 7,000 rooms?
So I'm going to throw you a curveball. I got into the industry by riding horses.
Okay, I'd like to hear this.
So as a kid, I rode horses, and I wanted to do something with horses growing up.
That's fun.
And I thought, I'm going to work on a dude ranch someday.
Oh, fun.
Venetian's not exactly a dude ranch, but that is actually how I got into hospitality, got my degree in hospitality, and then I came out to Vegas for a year or two, and I've been here for 19 years.
Well, we have something in common, not the 19 years part, but I used to ride horses as a kid.
Oh, yeah?
I went to Thomas's School of Horsemanship in like 1981, 82 or something like that. It was a fun summer camp.
Camp Ralph S. Mason in the Delaware Water Gap, New Jersey.
Right. And for the record, I was not good at the horseback riding. I would get thrown off all the time. One time the horse sits down. It must have been like 100 degrees out. The horse sits down. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, get off. I'm like, oh, and then it rolled on top of me. Yeah, that was really great. And then the medical team comes over because they think I'm hurt because 2,000-pound horse just rolled over me, and I was not hurt. And they're like, tell us the alphabet backwards. I'm like, what?
I couldn't do that I'm
11. What are you talking? I couldn't do that now.
Z.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So how long did it take you in your career until you were able to get to this position? And what was that pathway like? Because I've spoken to your chief sales officer, Tony, a lot, and his pathway was here, all over the place, with the overall goal of, I want to get somewhere specific, but sometimes the route there is not direct.
Sure. So I started in this building as a front desk manager 19 years ago, and I was at the front desk. I tell you, it was one of the hardest jobs I've ever done.
Yeah. In what way?
It is stimulus overload.
Right.
So it is just the volume, especially in this building. It is go. Constant interaction, constant. You have to be incredibly organized. You have to have your game face on, right? It's constant energy, and just ready, right, to understand that every guest in front of you, every team member in front of you, they need you, right? And they're looking for guidance. They're looking for direction. The team members are looking for motivation. You're there to challenge resolution, turn around, and it's keeping your mindset in the right place, right? And recognizing every guest, it's an opportunity, right? And every guest has chosen us, and that's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And with the front desk, what I always think of and what I always try to share with our desk agents is you set the tone, and our front desk touches 99.9% of our guests that walk into the building, right? And that other 0.1% is our VIP team, right?
Yeah.
So they have that responsibility too. But you think about it, you set the tone for a guest stay. And I always think they're kind of that last thing that a guest has to do before they get to enjoy this amazing building, right? So a guest has traveled and they've gone, either they've driven across the desert, or drone was a combination of driven and flown.
Yeah.
They've dealt with all the fun.
I like that. We're coining phrases here on No Vacancy.
They've done all the fun that is, flying, and the airport security and all that.
Oh, yeah. When I get here, I mean, I live in New York, so it's 5 hours in the air. Plus, I got to leave 3 hours before my flight takes off, and then I got to deal with the cab line over here. And by the time I get here, it could be crazy,
right?
I know.
So the front desk is kind of that last hurdle that you have to do before you get to do what you want to do, right? Whether that's get to a meeting or just take a bath and relax, right? So to me, my message to our arrival team, whether that's the team on the drive, but the front desk team, is take that opportunity, flip it around, make that you're here, you've made it, let's get you checked in, welcome, and set that stay up for success. And that's a huge responsibility.
Yeah.
So I think that's incredibly important, but that's also a lot of weight on their shoulders.
Right.
So I was with the front office team for about a year, and then I moved into our groups world, actually. And I was in the groups world for about 8 years in various capacities. Really interesting area because it was the groups world, but on the hotel side.
Right.
So working very closely with our sales and our catering team.
And that would be more like this group's coming in, they need X amount of rooms kind of a scenario.
So doing on the reservation side, we also have a very unique team here.
Right.
That focuses on the hotel needs. So whether it's 4,000 rooms arriving by bus in one day in a 4-hour period of time, and how are we getting all those folks in? Or 5, I think the largest we've ever done was about 6,000.
Oh my goodness.
Or it's the CEO of a Fortune 100 company, and what is, with a security detail, and what does that experience look like? And coordinating all of that. So very, very specialized area that is special and important to our meetings team, and helps set up our meeting planners for success. So worked in that area for 8 years before I came actually back to the front office, and concierge and a few other teams, at an executive director role.
So what's it like when you take on a new role? I mean, for me, I'm uncomfortable, and you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable as you grow your career, right?
Because I think that's important. And for me, it's always been about continuing to learn and grow, right? And as I move into a new area, it's important to get to know the team there, to learn from them, to set the tone of, we have incredibly high functioning teams in this building. So it's always, I want to learn from you. I want to learn what you're doing really well. I want to learn, how can I help support you? Where do you think the opportunities are? How do you think where do you think you're not doing so well that we need to learn? How can I help support you? And let's figure this out, and let's go from there. I think and then where's there opportunities to connect different teams? How do we build efficiencies between the two teams? How do we communicate better? And where's there opportunity in the guest experience? Because that's, at the end of the day, we are here to service our guests. So let's make sure that we are always looking at the holistic guest experience and figuring out, how do we do that better? And fresh eyes are important.
Yeah, and let's take it right back. How do you do it better? One way is $1 billion renovation
That's right.
of this incredible facility. Before we go, what message do you have for younger people that are on the fence about joining this incredible industry?
Join the industry. It's really that simple. It's an incredible experience. It's an incredible industry. It's fun. It's dynamic. There are no 2 days alike. Every day is a different day. Every day is is fun, and it's filled with amazing people, whether you're dancing in the hallways and in the back of house with the team member, or you're on the floor speaking to a guest who's getting to celebrate the most amazing experience of their life, and they've chosen your building. Our team makes it happen every single day, and that's special.
Well, as someone who was here recently for the Fish Shows of the Sphere, I understand the most amazing experience of your life and how important it is to set the stage for it. All right, I want to thank all of you for being here today. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. Text the word hotel to 66866. And while you're at it, why not check out the all-new NoVacancyNews.com website. So for Jaimie and myself, thanks for watching, and we'll be back here after the beautiful renovation is done. See you later.